Ladies, have you ever noticed how some people are drawn to your light while others seem to shrink away in discomfort? That's no coincidence. When you walk in God's favor, when His grace, beauty, and strength shine through you, those with ill intentions can't stand in your presence. You are not just beautiful on the outside, you carry a divine radiance, a purpose, and a spirit that cannot be dimmed. And while good men will honor and respect that, evil men will fear it. Why? Because your confidence, wisdom, and faith expose their darkness. Today, I want to share with you 4 undeniable signs that you are a God-favored woman, one whose presence demands respect and whose power sends the wrong men running. Because when God is with you, no force of darkness can stand against you. Let's begin. There are people who walk into a room and instantly shift the atmosphere. They don't need to speak loudly, demand attention, or put on a performance to be noticed. Their presence alone carries a weight that cannot be ignored. This is the essence of a woman favored by God. Her spirit, strength, and unwavering faith command respect without her having to ask for it. It's not about outward beauty alone, though she often radiates a unique elegance. It's about the energy she carries, the way she holds herself, and the quiet confidence that speaks louder than words. A God-favored woman understands who she is and whose she is. She does not need validation from the world because she knows she is already chosen, loved, and set apart by God. This inner assurance makes her move differently. She walks with purpose, her steps steady and unwavering, because she is not guided by fear or insecurity, but by faith. She doesn't shrink herself to fit into spaces that were never meant to contain her. Instead, she takes up the space she was divinely assigned, and in doing so, she forces those around her to recognize her presence. Evil men, those who thrive on manipulation, deceit, and control, find this kind of presence unsettling. They prefer women who are uncertain of their worth, easy to sway, and desperate for approval. They seek out those who can be bent to their will, molded into whatever shape serves their selfish desires. But a woman who carries the favor of God does not bend to ungodly pressures. She stands firm, her spirit unshaken, her mind clear. She refuses to be intimidated, and that alone makes her intimidating to those who wish to exploit her. Her posture, her demeanor, the way she carries herself, all of it speaks volumes. She does not slouch in timidity, nor does she make herself small to avoid confrontation. She lifts her head high, maintains eye contact, and walks with an air of dignity that demands to be acknowledged. Even in silence, she exudes strength. She is not boastful or arrogant, but there is a quiet power in the way she moves through the world. She does not engage in petty disputes or allow herself to be dragged into meaningless drama, because she understands that her time, energy, and peace are too valuable to be wasted. She chooses her words wisely. She does not gossip, slander, or engage in unnecessary chatter just to be heard. Instead, when she speaks, people listen. There is wisdom in her voice, authority in her tone, and purpose in her speech. She does not seek to tear others down, but to uplift, inspire, and guide. She understands that words hold power, and she uses hers carefully, never allowing anyone to twist or manipulate them to serve a false narrative. Evil men fear this because they thrive on confusion and deception, and a woman of clarity disrupts their plans. Her presence is marked by an unshakable peace. She does not panic in the face of adversity, nor does she crumble under pressure. She knows where her strength comes from, and because of that, she is not easily moved by external circumstances. People notice this. Some admire it, while others resent it. Those who operate in darkness feel exposed by the unwavering light she carries. They cannot understand how she remains so calm, so collected, so assured in who she is. It is not arrogance, it is divine confidence. and it is terrifying to those who rely on fear to control others. She is not easily impressed by superficial displays of wealth, power, or charm. She is discerning, able to see beyond the surface and into the heart of a person. She does not fall for empty words or grand gestures designed to manipulate emotions. She looks for depth, authenticity, and alignment with her values. This makes her immune to the tactics of deceitful men who rely on illusions to get what they want. They realize quickly that their usual tricks won't work on her, and rather than try to change, they often retreat, knowing they cannot control what they do not understand. The way she dresses, the way she presents herself, even the way she interacts with others, all of it is a reflection of the respect she has for herself. She does not seek attention in a desperate way, nor does she diminish her light to make others comfortable. She finds a balance between humility and self-assurance, never feeling the need to prove herself to anyone. Her worth is not determined by the opinions of men, but by the truth she carries within. She is protective of her space. She does not allow just anyone into her life, her home, or her heart. She understands that access to her is a privilege, not a right. She does not entertain disrespect, manipulation, or dishonor. If someone shows themselves to be untrustworthy or toxic, she removes them from her life without hesitation. She does not waste time trying to fix what is already broken beyond repair. She knows that her peace is too precious to be sacrificed for the sake of keeping the wrong company. Her energy is magnetic. She attracts people who recognize her value, who respect her presence, and who seek to uplift rather than diminish. But she also repels those with impure intentions. Evil men may be drawn to her beauty at first, but they soon realize that she is not an easy target. She does not entertain games, nor does she fall for false promises. She listens to her intuition, which is sharpened by her connection to God, and she acts accordingly. If something feels off, she does not ignore it. She trusts the signs, the red flags, and the discernment she has been given. She is not afraid to stand alone. She does not compromise her values for the sake of fitting in or pleasing others. She understands that walking in God's favor sometimes means walking a path that few can follow. She does not fear solitude because she knows she is never truly alone. Her strength comes from her faith, and that faith sustains her even in seasons of isolation. She refuses to settle for anything less than what she deserves, no matter how tempting the shortcuts may seem. Even in relationships, she maintains her individuality. She does not lose herself in the pursuit of love, nor does she allow a man to define her worth. She seeks partnership, not ownership. She desires love, but not at the cost of her dignity. A man who is truly meant for her will recognize her value and honor it, while those with selfish intentions will feel threatened by her independence. She is not swayed by the opinions of the world. She does not seek external validation because she knows that true confidence comes from within. She does not dress, speak, or act in a way that compromises her integrity just to gain approval. She understands that real respect is earned through character, not through artificial displays of status. Her presence is a reminder that goodness, grace, and strength can coexist. She is both gentle and powerful, kind but not weak. She leads with love but does not tolerate disrespect. She stands in her truth, unafraid and unapologetic. She is a reflection of God's favor, and that is why she is both admired and feared. A woman favored by God is not easily deceived. Her wisdom and discernment are not of this world. They are gifts from above, sharpened by her faith, experience, and unwavering connection to divine truth. She sees beyond the surface, beyond charming words and false promises. She is not fooled by appearances, nor does she allow herself to be swayed by temporary emotions. Her mind is clear, her spirit is vigilant, and her intuition is sharp. She moves through life with an awareness that unsettles those who thrive on deception because she cannot be easily manipulated. Evil men, those who operate in lies and deceit, prefer women who are naive, easily impressed, and quick to trust without question. They seek those who ignore red flags, who are willing to overlook inconsistencies, and who dismiss their own instincts in favor of empty reassurances. But a woman with discernment is not so easily misled. She listens to what is said, but she pays closer attention to what is unsaid. She observes actions, not just words. She notices patterns, inconsistencies, and subtle shifts in energy that others might overlook. Her wisdom is rooted in experience, both her own and the lessons passed down from those who came before her. She has seen the consequences of misplaced trust, of ignoring warning signs, of giving the wrong people too many chances. She has learned that not everyone who smiles has good intentions, and not everyone who offers love truly means it. She understands that some people are skilled at playing roles, wearing masks, and presenting themselves as something they are not. This awareness does not make her bitter or cynical, but it does make her cautious. She does not allow loneliness or desperation to cloud her judgment. She does not fall for flattery, nor does she mistake attention for love. She recognizes when someone is trying to manipulate her emotions, when they are saying what she wants to hear instead of speaking the truth. She is not afraid to ask questions, to challenge inconsistencies, to demand clarity. When something does not feel right, she trusts her instincts rather than dismissing them for the sake of convenience. She knows the power of silence and observation. She does not always respond immediately, nor does she feel the need to explain herself to those who are not worthy of her energy. She watches, she listens, she discerns. She understands that time reveals all things, that a person's true nature will always surface eventually. She does not rush into commitments, nor does she make emotional decisions that could lead to regret. She moves with intention, carefully considering every choice she makes. Evil men find this deeply unsettling. They thrive on confusion, impulsiveness, and emotional vulnerability. They rely on women second-guessing themselves, on ignoring their gut feelings, on being too afraid to walk away. But a woman of discernment does not waver. When she senses deception, she does not argue or beg for honesty. She simply withdraws. She does not waste time trying to fix someone who has already shown her who they are. She does not entertain half-truths, manipulations, or mind games. She recognizes when someone is trying to control her through guilt, fear, or emotional manipulation. She sees through the subtle tactics, love bombing, gaslighting, playing the victim. She is not moved by sudden grand gestures meant to distract from wrongdoing. She does not allow herself to be drawn into toxic cycles of hurt and apology, pain and temporary pleasure. She understands that true love does not require suffering, and real respect does not have to be earned through endurance. Her wisdom extends beyond relationships. It applies to friendships, business dealings, and everyday interactions. She knows that not everyone who calls themselves a friend is truly loyal. She pays attention to actions, to the way people behave when they have nothing to gain. She is careful with whom she shares her dreams, She understands that some people listen only to find weaknesses, to use her vulnerabilities against her. She does not surround herself with negativity, gossip, or envy. She chooses her circle wisely, keeping company with those who uplift, support, and align with her values. She is not impressed by status, wealth, or empty charm. She values character above all else. She understands that true integrity cannot be faked, and she does not make excuses for those who lack it. When confronted with deceit, she does not react emotionally. She does not allow anger or disappointment to consume her. Instead, she remains composed, processing the situation with wisdom and patience. She knows that exposure is inevitable, that the truth will always come to light. She does not waste her energy trying to convince others of what she already knows in her spirit. She trusts in divine justice, in the certainty that deception cannot stand forever. Her discernment gives her a peace that others envy. She does not live in fear of being used, betrayed, or misled, because she knows she is guided by something greater than herself. She trusts that God will always reveal what she needs to see, that He will protect her from unseen dangers, that He will give her the strength to walk away from anything not meant for her. She does not ignore red flags in the hope that things will change. She does not settle for potential while overlooking reality. She understands that love should never require blindness. She does not silence her intuition to keep the peace, nor does she stay in situations that compromise her well-being. She knows that walking away from the wrong thing is just as important as walking toward the right thing. Evil men resent her ability to see through them. They realize quickly that their usual tactics do not work, that she will not be easily swayed, that she cannot be controlled. Some may try harder, increasing their efforts to win her over, testing new ways to manipulate her trust. But when she recognizes deception, she does not give second chances where none are deserved. She does not allow empty apologies to override discernment. She knows that wisdom is not just about knowing the truth, it's about acting on it. It's about choosing herself, her peace, and her future over temporary emotions. It's about standing firm in her convictions even when it's difficult. It's about trusting that what she lets go of is never better than what God has in store for her. Her presence disrupts the plans of those with hidden agendas. She is a light that exposes darkness, a force that makes deceitful men uncomfortable. She does not compromise her values, lower her standards, or pretend not to see what is right in front of her. She embraces her wisdom, knowing that it is both her shield and her strength. A woman who walks in divine favor does not attract just anyone. Her presence is not for the weak, the deceptive, or the ungodly. She carries an energy that calls forth those who are aligned with her spirit and repels those who seek to diminish her light. She does not have to chase love or beg for attention because the right people are drawn to her naturally. There is something about her that speaks to those who walk in truth, something that unsettles those who thrive in deception. She does not fit into the mold that society often tries to place on women. She is not desperate for validation, nor is she moved by temporary pleasures. She has standards, boundaries, and a deep understanding of her worth, which makes her both admired and feared. Godly men see her and recognize something different about her. She is not like the rest. She is not caught up in superficial pursuits or meaningless distractions. She carries herself with grace, dignity, and an air of confidence that is rooted in something much deeper than ego. She is secure in herself, not because of worldly achievements, but because she knows who she is in God's eyes. She does not need to prove her worth to anyone because she already knows it. This is what sets her apart and what draws the right kind of man to her. When a godly man sees her, he sees a woman of substance. He recognizes that she is not looking for someone to complete her because she is already whole. He knows that she is not easily impressed by material wealth, shallow words, or empty gestures. She desires something real, something meaningful, something built on a foundation that cannot be shaken. A man who is truly aligned with her spirit will approach her with respect, intentionality, and a desire to build, not to take. He will honor her values, appreciate her strength, and see her as a partner rather than a possession. On the other hand, men who operate in darkness find her intimidating. She is not the type to fall for their games, to be lured in by charm alone, or to ignore the warning signs of manipulation. They may be drawn to her initially because of her beauty, her confidence, and the way she carries herself, but they quickly realize that she is not easily swayed. She is not a woman who can be played with, lied to, or led astray. Her spirit discerns the truth, and she does not ignore what she sees. These men quickly understand that they cannot manipulate her emotions, control her mind, or use her for their own selfish gain. She does not entertain toxic cycles, nor does she allow herself to be caught up in confusion. She sees things clearly, and once she recognizes a person's true intentions, she acts accordingly. She does not stay in situations that do not serve her, hoping that someone will change. She does not allow herself to be emotionally drained by men who refuse to grow. She understands that not everyone deserves access to her heart, and she does not apologize for protecting her peace. The way she moves through life makes ungodly men uncomfortable. She is not easily distracted, nor is she easily controlled. She sets boundaries and enforces them without hesitation. She does not entertain relationships that do not align with her values. She does not allow desperation to dictate her choices, and she does not settle out of fear of being alone. She trusts in God's timing and knows that what is meant for her will never require her to compromise who she is. Because she carries herself with such self-respect, the right kind of man recognizes her worth immediately. He does not approach her with games or hidden agendas. He understands that she requires honesty, integrity, and true partnership. He does not try to change her, nor does he see her strength as a threat. Instead, he admires it. He sees her as an asset to his life, not someone to control or diminish. He respects her independence, but also values the depth of connection that can only come from a woman who knows her purpose. She does not have to question whether a man is serious about her because his actions will make it clear. He will not play with her emotions, disappear when things get difficult, or make her feel like she is an option rather than a priority. A man who is truly aligned with her will move with clarity and consistency. He will not lead her on, waste her time, or expect her to lower her standards to accommodate his immaturity. He will see her as a reflection of God's grace in his life, and he will treat her accordingly. Ungodly men, however, cannot stand the way she carries herself. They see her confidence as arrogance, her standards as being too high, and her ability to walk away as a challenge to their control. They may try to test her, to push her boundaries, or to make her question her worth, but what they fail to understand is that she is not moved by their tactics. She has already done the inner work to know what she deserves, and no amount of manipulation can shake that foundation. She does not engage in arguments with men who refuse to see her value. She does not waste time trying to prove herself to those who are not meant for her. She does not seek revenge or hold on to bitterness when things do not work out. Instead, she releases what is not for her with grace, knowing that God will always replace what she lets go of with something better. She does not entertain drama, toxicity, or relationships built on insecurity. She knows that the love she desires exists, and she refuses to accept anything less than that. Her presence is a test for the men who come into her life. Those who are truly meant for her will rise to meet her standards, while those who are not will be exposed. She does not have to force anything, nor does she have to chase anyone. She attracts what aligns with her because she remains true to herself. She does not shrink herself to fit into someone else's idea of what a woman should be. She does not conform to societal pressures that tell her she must settle before a certain age, accept less than she deserves, or lower her expectations to accommodate weak men. She understands that love is not meant to be forced. She does not try to make a man see her worth because the right man will already recognize it. She does not chase validation, nor does she seek attention in ways that compromise her dignity. She is content in her singleness because she knows that when the right man arrives, it will not feel like a struggle, It will not require games, confusion, or pain disguised as passion. It will be clear, intentional, and filled with peace. Men who are not ready for this kind of woman often project their insecurities onto her. They may call her difficult, too independent, or hard to love. They may try to convince her that her standards are unrealistic or that she expects too much. But she does not internalize these false narratives. She knows that the right man will not see her as too much. He will see her as the exact blessing he has been praying for. She refuses to lower herself to accommodate those who were never meant to walk beside her. She trusts that God will bring the right person into her life at the right time. She does not fear being alone because she knows she is never truly alone. She focuses on her growth, her purpose, and her faith, knowing that the right man will meet her on that path. She does not settle, she does not beg, and she does not chase. She is loved, she is light, and she is a woman of divine favor. A woman who is favored by God possesses a strength that is not easily. She does not rely on external validation to determine her worth, nor does she allow the opinions of others to dictate her path. She is grounded in something much deeper than worldly expectations. She is rooted in faith, purpose, and a profound understanding of her divine identity. This inner strength is not something she acquired overnight. It has been forged through trials, through battles that tested her resilience, and through moments when she had nothing left but her trust in God. She has been through storms that would have broken others, but instead of crumbling, she emerged stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than ever before. Her strength is intimidating to those who thrive on control. Evil men, manipulators, and those with hidden agendas struggle to handle a woman who does not bend to their will. They are used to women who can be swayed by charm, who fear being alone, and who seek validation from relationships. But she is different. She does not seek love to complete her. She seeks love that complements the wholeness she already possesses. She does not tolerate disrespect, dishonesty, or anything that diminishes her spirit. She has fought too hard to build herself into the woman she is today, and she refuses to let anyone undo that growth. She has learned to walk away from anything that does not align with her peace, her values, and her purpose. She does not beg for love, nor does she chase after people who do not see her worth. She understands that rejection is often God's protection, and she does not mourn the loss of those who were never meant for her. She trusts that what is truly hers will never require her to compromise herself. When someone shows her their true colors, she does not attempt to repaint them. She sees people for who they are, not for who she wishes they could be. This unwavering self-respect makes her a force to be reckoned with. She does not entertain half-hearted efforts, and she does not settle for potential. She is not afraid to be alone because she understands that solitude with peace is far better than company filled with chaos. She knows that her time is valuable, her energy is sacred, and her presence is a gift. Not everyone deserves access to her. This mindset makes her dangerous to those who are used to controlling, manipulating, or breaking women down. She does not tolerate emotional manipulation. She sees through tactics like guilt-tripping, love-bombing, and playing the victim. She understands that true love does not come with confusion, that respect does not need to be earned through suffering, and that a man who truly values her will never make her feel. She recognizes when someone is trying to dim her light in order to make themselves shine brighter, and she does not allow it. She does not fall for sob stories, empty promises, or apologies without changed behavior. She has seen it all before, and she knows better than to let herself be fooled. She has a presence that commands respect. When she walks into a room, she does not have to demand attention. It naturally gravitates toward her. She does not speak to prove her worth, yet when she does, her words carry weight. She does not shrink herself to make others comfortable, nor does she lower her standards to accommodate those who refuse to grow. She understands that her strength is a gift, and she refuses to water herself down for those who cannot handle. They struggle to manipulate someone who is confident in her decisions, who does not second-guess herself, and who refuses to be led astray. They are frustrated by her ability to stand firm, to say no without fear, and to remove herself from situations that do not serve her. They are used to women who tolerate mistreatment, who forgive without seeing change, and who accept the bare minimum. But she is not one of them. She demands respect, not with words, but with the way she carries herself. Her standards are not impossible. They are simply non-negotiable. She expects honesty, effort, and emotional maturity because she offers the same in return. She is not looking for perfection, but she is looking for consistency. She refuses to entertain men who are still playing games, who do not know what they want, or who expect her to settle for less than she deserves. She knows that a man who is truly meant for her will never be intimidated by her strength. He will be inspired by it. She is not afraid to be misunderstood. She knows that society often tries to label strong women as difficult, demanding, or too much. She does not let these labels define her. She does not allow the fear of being judged to silence her, nor does she conform to expectations that do not align with her truth. She embraces who she is fully, unapologetically, and without hesitation. She understands that those who cannot handle her were never meant to be in her life. She is fearless in her pursuit of her purpose. She does not wait for permission to chase her dreams, nor does she let setbacks deter her. She knows that failure is not a sign to quit, but a lesson to learn from. She has been knocked down before, but she always rises. She has faced betrayal, heartbreak, and disappointment, yet she remains hopeful. She refuses to let past pain make her bitter, and she does not carry baggage that does not belong to her. She is deeply connected to God, and that connection is what sustains her. She does not rely on her own strength alone, but on the divine power that guides her steps. She prays for wisdom, for discernment, for clarity. She does not make decisions based on emotions alone, but on faith and understanding. She seeks God in everything she does, and because of this, she is always protected, always covered, and always walking in favor. Her confidence is not arrogance. It is the result of knowing who she is and whose she is. She does not need to compete with other women, nor does she envy what someone else has. She understands that what is meant for her will never miss her, and what is not meant for her will never stay. She celebrates the success of others without feeling threatened, knowing that her own blessings are on their way. She is secure in herself, and that security makes her a magnet for greatness. She does not waste time trying to change people who do not want to change. She does not hold on to relationships that drain her spirit, nor does she keep people in her life out of fear of letting go. She is not afraid to walk away from anything that disrupts her peace. She understands that sometimes the greatest act of self-love is choosing herself. Her existence is a threat to those who thrive on control, deceit, and manipulation. She is not someone who can be easily swayed, nor is she someone who tolerates disrespect. She is a woman of substance, of wisdom, of divine strength. She does not need to prove herself to anyone because her life is a reflection of her faith. She is not for everyone, and she is perfectly okay with that. She moves with purpose, with grace, and with an unwavering belief that everything she desires is already hers.